What is up going on, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Crossout. We got even more clan wars for you. I'm back on the aspects, and the first game here is nothing but a freaking legendary game. We're basically playing versus a setup of full hovers. Oh no. 3 hovers and a Draco brick. And the 3 hovers were, one of them had 3 Helios and 1 shield. One of them had 2 Aegis, and the last dude actually had an Aegis and a barrier. So this was like a team full of shields. We're playing DNAB, and DNAB literally, like DNAB, they wreck us 90%, 80% of the time whenever we play against each other. So we were pretty freaking excited to actually meet them once again. And we also basically, like, we always struggle with teams with a lot of shields because it's just hard fighting against. It's doable, but it's by far the easiest if you have some cannon players on your team, which we luckily had in this specific round, which is super nice. We got Lith on 1 Typhoon, 1 Tsunami, and then we have Doom on dual Tsunamis, and then me and taking us on aspects. So basically what we're trying to do here is we're trying to like get close enough to them for me and Untaken to actually be able to help, and then just hoping for like Lith and Doom has to chain their shots, so that when they like shoot one target multiple times, that dude is gonna lose his shield on the first shot, and when the second like cannon shots come in straight afterwards, you're gonna land a shot on the shield. So very nice. We have a good control of the melee fire brick spark here. So we're ready as soon as he charges us, which is nice. So we can easily despark him and go for the rest of the dudes. As you can see, we actually already degunned one of them, and now we're just going for the rest of them. We Untaken sacrificed himself. That was a pretty good push by him because he forced them all to hit him. So while he was doing so, we could fight the rest of them off. One of them actually get cap canned here. We try to just stay around the cap cans for as much as possible, because if we can get the Helios cap can, then we have them in a pretty good grip for the cannons. Just blast them down. Lith landing another good shot there on the Helios, so I'm trying to just degun him. I realize now that the cabin is actually burning, so I'm just going heavy for his cabin, hoping to get that down, which we get there. The Draco brick comes back. The Draco actually comes back towards us. He said a firebug. It might actually be a firebug. I don't even remember. He comes back, so basically just trying to go for the kill because I see that they're cabin, so I'm going for the kill there on the brick, which is nice. And at this point, Lith can basically go to our cap while I rotate to their cap. The reason that we want to go for their cap while Lith is protecting our cap is basically just because they have a point, so they will win if they have a point more. We just need 1 point as well, though, and then we have the upper hand in the amount of players left. So they self-destruct as they realize that it's going to be like hard, close to impossible to win that round. So moving on to the second round here, which is we're gonna try to do the same again. We start up by moving up through left, because that will give us the most room to actually get close to them without them like hitting us before we get into that like just full-on brawl where it's just about getting the kills first. So the second round here, we draw a lot of fire onto us, me and Untaken. I don't get the barrier. I always try to shoot down the barrier as soon as it's deployed so that we can actually remove the shield. That is by far the best strategy. I realize now that the brick was actually going behind us, so I go for the decloak. Sadly though, he didn't go for the way that I was expecting him to, but we instantly switch our focus to the brick and we get him desparked within a few seconds. So onto the Helios again. I'm just trying to degun one of the Helios there. I actually get off 2 Helios, I think, or maybe just 1. Nope, indeed 2 Helios, which is nice. Going for the barrier again, missing it again. Sadly, but we're doing pretty good. I'm getting pretty beaten up. We have taken a lot of hits, but we actually got such a good control of them because the cannons is just blasting down the Aegis shields all the time. And that's mainly why I wanted to include this video, or this recording in this video, because it's just a really good fight against a setup that is many times really, really annoying to play versus. I just go for the end on him so they don't go cabin once again, which they did before. So we don't want to leave anyone, you know, living with a few HP when we can actually get the kill on them. Here just trying to go for the last Helios hover. They have a Helios hover and they have the brick left. Since we can't really, oh, they actually have 2 Helios hovers left. That's what I mean. So we're just actually going for the end on them here. Lift is still fighting one of the Helios over there. It's the dual Helios Aegis, which is like it's a hard combination to fight, but we actually managed to keep these guys at bay very well by just pushing in on them, getting close, brawling, and just keeping the shields down. So a very nice game here, and that is really all the reason for why I wanted to include it. The second game is also a very nice setup that we actually met, and I want to include this game because this is one of the few games where we aren't facing dogs and, you know, either we win or we lose in a couple of minutes. It's just not funny posting dog videos all the time. It's getting a bit dead, but since dogs are 80% of Clan Wars still, yeah, it's just the way it's gonna have to be. I'm gonna leave out a lot of recordings, but you're getting some pure gold today. We're playing against some mandrakes, and you know that I'm playing a lot of mandrakes, so I would say that I also somewhat know how to counter mandrakes. There is really just one counter. You just have to push, but you just have to be smart about your push as well. If you keep on the, like, if you just stay on the move, it's hard to hit with a mandrake, because you can never really predict how people move, and you can easily dodge them once the mandrake actually shoots. So, you know, I was moving forward there, I see the mandrakes going up, so I changed my direction, and that's really all there is to it if you want to dodge the mandrake most of the time. If the mandrake doesn't spread out his fire more, that is. Like, if the mandrake goes for, like, just covering a wide area, which I like to do with my hobby mandrake, there's a bigger chance of hitting people that is good at changing directions. But as soon as we pressurize the mandrake, we actually swap over to the cannons, because they are our biggest threat right now. So we're going for the end there on them, and we actually get one of them burning, like, here quite early into that fight, which is super nice. So we just keep the pressure going on the mandrakes for now, or on the tsunamis for now. I get Capcan here, sadly. Untaken got me, and I want to put some pressure on the mandrake again to force him to keep on being stressed, because he got some room to just shoot again. So that's why I actually rotated towards him to get him down again, because he was just like, he was able to move somewhat freely again. So just turned to him to make sure that we stressed him once more. Pop my Aegis because I didn't want to get blasted by those mandrakes. I was getting a bit short on spaced armor, so I just wanted to make sure that I could live through that one. Now though, we chase down all of them, and they spread up, so we're just pinching them right now to actually make sure that we can get some kills on them. Going for the mandrake right here right now, which is a pretty easy kill at that point, because he was alone. One of them went for the cap, and we just wanted to make sure that they don't get the cap. So I'm sending Untaken to the cap, because to our cap, because he was pretty low, and the guy in cap was actually degunned. So I figured I was the only one who could actually fight Etiquette. And yeah, that's really all there is to it at this round. Trying to figure where he went right now, because he cloaked up, so I'm just waiting until he actually shows up, because my Aegis is down, so I can't have him get the first shot in. I get some lucky jukes here on his shots, which is nice, and he's pretty much like, I just wanted to go for the kill, but at the same time I didn't want to expose myself stupidly, so I just stayed in cap to get those points if it came down to actually having more cap points. As soon as the cap can goes down, I try to get close to him to actually get some more damage in on him, just to make sure that he is as low as possible, because now he goes towards our cap. And the main reason that I don't want to follow here is because if I would have left cap by now, we would only get 1 point. And if these guys were really good, they could have kited us around for the last minute and a half, and if they did so, they would actually end up getting the win. So I just wanted to make sure that they didn't actually get the win by points. And Untaken is still just fighting the guy in our cap, and he actually ends up killing him, which is super nice. And Etiquette is almost dead. And remember, like, you saw Untaken before he went to cap, he was as well. So it's just a good fight by Untaken, and really lucky that Etiquette was actually so beaten up when he turned towards our cap, so that he could kill both of them. Really nice first round, so we are moving straight into the second round. We're doing the same thing again here in the second round. We really just wanna push up and use the map cover that is provided, like, because the mandrake can put down still so much stress, so we're just using and utilizing as much cover as possible. We're trying to slowly just advance in on them, because like I said, as soon as you get close to the Mandrake, you can just sort of sidestep and move forward a bit, and then switch side for where you move if he is actually trying to get you. This place is another good place. The radars is providing a lot of cover for the Mandrake, so we just try to stay close to them while we push up. And as you can see, we're getting close. I'm just watching that Sky to see if he's actually shooting for me. He was expecting me to push up through mid there, so I basically just sidestepped as much as I could in order to juke the Mandrake fire. The Lancer got another good kill there. He got untaken this time. It's always hard to watch, like when they have a setup like that, two Tsunamis and a Mandrake. We always have to watch where we move because they are looking for us. So the Lancer will usually get a pretty good window of opportunity. I'm going for the kill on the Lancer here, and I can't really figure if it was a good or a bad idea, but the reason that I wanted to get him down so much was basically because I didn't want him to go for the cap once more. So I just tried to make sure that he didn't do that. Sadly though, I didn't get the kill on him. But that actually gave me a really good position on the enemy though. So it wasn't as bad of a push that I expected, but as you can see, I'm just getting in there and I can actually land a lot of damage on the cannon players there, which means that I actually take on the gun and the dudes can pretty much yeah, just kill them off at this point. The Mandrake is still getting a lot of free hits, so we try to keep the push in towards their cap zone for now. And remember that they are like effectively only two people because the Lancer's used all of his lances, and there we go. The second cannon player dies, so it's only the Mandrake player and the Lancer left, and the Lancer is in our base. And at this point you might be thinking, oh, but he kept 1 point already, and it doesn't matter because 3 people capping is so freaking fast compared to 1. So he actually also decides to just self-destruct because the Mandrake is gonna have a hard time facing us alone. So that's it for the second round, boys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and girls as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would really appreciate, like, if you want to like this video and drop a subscribe so you can always stay updated on the latest videos. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and until next time, you guys must have an awesome day. Bye.